Yo. I decided I would hop in a little afternoon best ball stream. Very uncharacteristic of me. I normally do this on a Tuesday with a guest, which I will. But I was like, you know what? I do so many drafts with other people. What happens if just I get on here and I don't have to appease a Pat Carrain or Davis Maddock or guess? What if I just actually draft the best plays? What does a team look like in that situation? And that's what we're going to do here today. I don't think it's a realistic goal, but I'm going to try to max out the bubble on Underdog. I think I'm at like 60 right now. I don't know if I can get there. I'm going to have to really pick up my pace. I've started doing like 3 or 4 a day. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there. We'll see. All right. The 105 slot. Oh, Dan Masterson has logged into the chat. Dan, how many FFPC teams have you drafted this year, Dan? What's the math? I thought it was 150, but it might be 100. 100 would be better. This Alvin Kamara holdout situation definitely let's do a true zero RB team. I don't even care. I've been loving my teams. Surprise, surprise, when I hammer wide receiver. And the first round is just getting so gross with Kamara, with Cook. Chris has it. 150 is max. I know the autopilot thing is just tricky. You know, from how Beers described it, it sounds like you need so many different adjusting of the ranks to really finagle it and finesse it to what you want it to be. And I just don't know if that is something I want to take the time and care into doing. So I think I'll just keep firing at them manually. What was I doing I had my LG dual screen phone that they sent me last year. The guy sent me from the Swolecast stuff after I was getting made fun of for not having an iPhone. And he sent me this. But what it's sick is you can double up. I can do two drafts on one phone. So that's how I've been upping my volume in drafts using the dual screen. I can't do more than that. There's just too many things I'm trying to do. I'm just not talented. I can't multi-table more than 2 drafts at the same time. Does Latavius go a little early now? You got to think so. Probably he should bump up around, probably not too much to overreact. But I do think you need to offset it a little bit. Can you take Thomas at 3? Sure. I'm not a Zeke guy, so I don't mind going C-Mac, and then Barkley, and then MT. I don't mind it at all. Chris, I just did an autopilot on the bubble and got Taysom Hill and Tua. Here's the thing. Tua, I've been drafting in a lot of these at the end. My thesis on this is if you look at Miami's playoff schedule, they're at home versus KC, they're at home versus New England, and then they're on the road in Las Vegas. That is a very, very nice playoff schedule. And I don't really envision Ryan Fitzpatrick starting all 16 games. And in this bubble, we are trying to win essentially 4 different mini playoffs, including a week 14, a week 15, week 16. And Tua's schedule is just insanely nice. He's free in drafts. And I think he's going to be playing in those money weeks from behind against KC, New England, and Las Vegas. So Tua's my guy. Tua's my third quarterback, and it really frees you up to do some other stuff when you're not having to reach for that third quarterback. How volatile are we going today? Probably, to me, it doesn't seem that volatile. To everyone else, that would have been fun if Tyreek slipped there. I'm still grabbing DeAndre Hopkins, even though Evan Silva has said I needed to check my process. If I have DeAndre Hopkins in my top 5 wide receivers, I need to check my process. I have a bad process. Don't buy it. DeAndre Hopkins is going to be fine. He is going to be fine. He can take a hit in volume and still easily pay off this draft slot. Again, we're not talking about taking him 105. We're talking at the back end of the second round. Arguably the best, most talented wide receiver in football, who is now going to a rising offense that's expected to see a pickup in pace in more plays. I don't get the DeAndre Hopkins hate. I think there's room for both him and Kirk and Kyler and everybody to smash. Yes, Kevin last night took Tua in the ship chasing league. I don't know if that was your intention. You wanted to handcuff Herbert first, which you ended up doing, but I talked you into to grabbing Tua. Most concerning week 16 players here. Let me look at my sheet. Cleveland is rough. So you have 3 outdoor games. They're at home versus Baltimore. Then they're on the road against the Giants, and then on the road versus the Jets. And I guess Giants and Jets might not scare people. Let me make a pick here. We're going Mike Evans. I've been just grabbing Mike Evans in the 3rd round of every one of these. So we can pick nits and think how good we are at predicting defenses right now. I'm not in that market, but I will say 3 outdoor cold weather games in the winter is not a game environment I'm going to be super excited about for having guys going in. So I don't mind grabbing a single Cleveland guy in your builds. I definitely have some Kareem Hunt. I have some Jarvis Landry, but I'm not loading up on Cleveland. I have 0% Chubb. I have 0% Chubb across probably. I have him in 1 keeper league. I reluctantly kept him because I have him for basically free, but Chubb is so scary to me for a variety of reasons. Las Vegas is the only team with 3 home games. They do. Yeah. I was looking to not only home games, but I'm just looking for good weather and dome games. So some other teams that check that box. The Chargers have a nice schedule. Miami, KC, Minnesota, Tampa Bay. There's some teams there that should be positioned for good at game environments here. All right. What do we got going here? So yeah, the old debate of how deep is wide receiver. When you do these underdog drafts, if you are coming out of the 8th or 9th round and you don't already have, at least 5 or 6 wide receivers, I mean, it dries up so much. There's some exceptions, right? Like I like Preston Williams. I've been grabbing him a little bit. And then of course, Laviska Shenault, who's now getting pricier and pricier by the day. So, there are some exceptions, and then you can do some stack fillers at the end, right? You can grab your Isabellas, your JJ Arcega-Whitesides, your Kendrick Bourne. So I don't mind that. But in general, I just feel so exposed if I don't have 6 wide receivers coming out of round 8 generally. Normally, Darius Slayton is kind of that last wide receiver I'm getting as part of my blitzkrieg on wide receivers. And then, like I said, backfilling in a couple of those other guys, sprinkling them in to get to 7 or 8, depending on how many running backs I took. And if I took a tight end early. It is a bummer since the Rager news happened. Both Andrews and Ertz were 2 of the most absurdly priced players on Underdog. Now that Rager is ruled out, people are now just realizing how much volume Ertz is set up for. So he's been pushing into the early 4th, along with Mark Andrews, where before I was getting Zach Ertz at like 5.5, 5.6. We'll see here at 4.8. If Mark Andrews is still on the board, I might go wide receiver and then try to catch Zach Ertz coming back. If not, I might just reach on Ertz because I still like having the elite tight end. I mean, these prices are absurd. For Mark Andrews, it's just absolutely wild. I am going to try to play chicken with it. I'm going to try to grab Terry McLaurin and then see if I can get Ertz coming back. This could be dicey. It could burn me. You know what? No. I'm not going to risk it. I take it back. We're taking Mark Andrews. Chark went just before. I would have done Chark and then tried to gamble on the tight ends. I think it was a little too risky there. Mark Andrews is such a smash at 4.8. It's just such a smash. I get it with Deshaun Jackson. I did one of these earlier. He went in the 7th. He went like 702. I'm out on that price. I'd rather draft Arcega, or everyone's turning me on to John Hightower now. Like, I don't know. I definitely get it with Djax. I have an age bias. I legitimately have an age bias. I worry about his health. I worry about just his ability to still be explosive. So yeah, I don't mind Djax conceptually. It makes a ton of sense, but man, that's expensive. Like, you're having to draft him over Christian Kirk and McCole Hardman now. And I'm not doing that. All All right, Ertz did fall to me there, and I did miss out on McLaurin. That kind of hurts. Yeah, I might have timed that. I think I played that wrong. I did play that wrong. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab Ertz here. I don't like this tier. Like, I would have grabbed Sutton. I would have grabbed Parker, Gallup. We're doubling it. Ertz is the best pick here. Here's what we do. We X out a tight end now. We don't have to draft tight end the rest of the draft, and we can just think of, you would think after all these times I'd still know how to use this. We can think of Ertz as our flex. I misread that. I definitely should have taken McLaurin, and then I would have gotten one of Andrews or Ertz. That's what happens. That's what happens. I was so close to doing the right thing, and then I changed my mind at the last second because I was like, if I talk up what a smash value these tight ends are, and then I don't get one and I get squeezed out. Yeah, this is like, we're talking about wide receiver runs. I mean, the Underdog is getting so efficient. Like, these wide receivers are starting to go where they should go. And I already, even starting with 3 wide receivers, I already feel exposed at wide receiver. But if I think of Ertz as a wide receiver, it's a little more palatable. It just doesn't give me as much optionality. Oh, man. Check my process. I need to check it. I need to check my process at the door. I also need to trust it. TTP. A guy I've been drafting, I have been getting a decent amount of Dobbins in the 6 as my first running back. We might go uber punt on running back today, because if like Rojo or Dobbins is there in the mid to late 6, I don't mind grabbing those as my first one. But I'm just not seeing that today. So we're going to have to see here. I might, maybe we'll stack up Kyler with Kirk. Might be able to pull that off. I just have so much of that. I also don't mind Diggs. Okay. Let's get Diggs in the queue here too. Holy cow. Wait, did Raquel Armstead at 512? Wow. I would say that's the ADPs are a little too efficient there. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that pick other than I could probably. Did Diggs just go 2? This is brutal. How am I feeling naked at wide? Okay, we're gonna try to get the Cardinals double stack here. We'll get our elite QB pushing us down here. I don't love taking QB when so many of them are on the board here, but after taking Nuke and then setting us up in the range to get Kirk, I think it makes sense. Yeah, I was back to the what's his name? Armstead thing. That's so rich. That's really rich. The way, I wish in that backfield there was like an Eno Benjamin, a Lynn Bowden type, someone you could actually get excited about. That'd be fun. Yeah, we're going to grab Kirk here. Grab Kirk, get our 4th wide receiver, get the double stack, air raid, hashtag, let's go. But there's not in that backfield. I know we're talking ourselves into a Zigbo. I still don't think he has the profile to just give us that league winning upside. To me, that just screams full-blown committee. When we talk about a gross committee or a weird-looking committee like Washington with AP, Bryce Love, Antonio Gibson, like, I can get excited about Bryce Love and Gibson. I can see paths to both of those guys emerging and just smashing their ADP. Like, how is Armstead paying off his ADP there? He's not. There's just no way. We kind of know what he is, and I don't see a profile that can pay off that ADP. Yeah, I saw that back and forth with Hefe and Davis. Some people, I think, just like being contrarian. People did not want to take the L on Fournette. I mean, that we're still talking ourselves into him going to Kansas City. I mean, the mental gymnastics you have to do to not take the L on Fournette. I mean, you have to be incredibly flexible. It's exhausting just thinking about those gymnastics you have to do. Just take the L, guys. Just take the L. And look, I saw some talk today about how it's, we're like victory lapping someone losing their job. No, like what I'm victory lapping is a structural draft process. I knew the robust RB drafters were going to just take the biggest L of all time this year. I didn't know it was going to happen so quick. We haven't even started the games yet. Half the first round is holding out. We got, the Raiders adding 18 pass catching backs. We've got Fournette getting cut. I mean, just come on. The writing has been on the wall forever. So yeah, we're going to victory lap robust RB just being a mind-numbingly dumb draft strategy. I mean, let's just pack up your bags and go home. It's absurd. What round would I snag Lenny? Never. Last night in the ship chasing listener league, what did he go? 8.2? And it was still too early. Okay, I'll give you a real answer. What round would I snag him in? I'd probably take him round 15. After I get Joshua Kelly in the 14th, sure, I'll kick the tires on Leonard Fournette. Let's see here. What do we got? All right, we're going to get our guy Zach Moss. We'll do that here. He's a good first running back to build around here. Last pick, and I have to choose between Tua and Lenny. Probably based on my build, I need a third QB, and I'm taking Tua. Let's see here. Gibson went 602. Personally, that's too high for him as well. Yeah, I haven't been getting. I think I have Gibson in like one underdog draft since the Geis stuff. Lynn Bowden is Geis, right? Not Geis. Lynn Bowden is Gibson for just way cheaper. I still like Gibson, but give me Bryce Love and give me Bowden late. I'm just not finding myself drafting him there. Now we're talking Ricky Beers layered over Lenny. Now we're talking. All right, this is an interesting spot. So this is the guy I've just been grabbing over and over here is Slayton. He's like that last guy that I feel really good about before I'm really kind of making compromises here. The thing that's tricky, how far do I pick? I've also in this range just been gobbling up Phillip Lindsay. I think Phillip Lindsay is just an absurd smash. The Melvin Gordon rib injury, I think Phillip Lindsay's better than Melvin Gordon. I think if he has the pass catching role, which is kind of the more ambiguous thing, it could just be an absolute smash. I think he can run away with that job. So as I say that, did he already go off the board? No, he's still here. This is going to break my heart because he's not going to make it back to me. I maybe should have pivoted and taken Lindsay there first before Slayton. Maybe I am in autopilot mode. What do you guys think here? What Pat did with you, with Rager, I legit do with my home league, GC and Gibson. Well, just like bullying me into taking him at questionable prices. It is like with all of this stuff, obviously we can't predict injuries. We can't predict who's getting cut, but we can be generally price sensitive. And I think that's the thing that gets lost is like, it was tough for me to grab Rager and Lamb when I knew LaVisca and Ayuk, this was before the Ayuk injury, were available later in similar talent, similar projected workloads. And in my opinion, as far as I understand that Rager was in line for a lot of targets, but we have to be price sensitive with these things. It's why I can't draft Ronald Jones anymore, but Keyshawn Vaughn is just a smash. And I hated Keyshawn Vaughn in rookie drafts. I don't own him anywhere. But now he's just a screaming value. So we have to be price sensitive, especially when we're doing a ton of these drafts. Otherwise we get burned. And I think when you're reaching for guys and not being price sensitive, you're opening yourself. Are we going to get Phillip Lindsay here? Come on, one time. I played chicken with it. Give me AKF can't go Lindsay here. What has he got? Kamara, Swift, Edmonds. Don't do it. Give me Lindsay. Yes. Whoo. That felt good. That's very nice. Okay. I like this team. I like how this team is shaping up. Don't worry, guys. This is about the time in the draft that I remember to add some of my quarterback targets in here. We could potentially do Brady, although because of where I am capital-wise, can we get Vaughn and Brady? Who's going to go first? I think, should we try to pull off Brady and Vaughn? Let's see if we can get Brady and Vaughn. So early in the draft season, I was of the belief, and this was where I was checking my own biases. I was like, I don't want anything to do with Brady and Gronk. I think they're both cooked. And I'm starting to come around on Brady more. I think he's very palatable at this price point, and I love their schedule. They're home versus Minnesota, and then they have 2 dome games, week 15 and week 16, at Atlanta, at Detroit. Those look to me like games where there could be a lot of points scored. I like that they're in the dome. And I've been drafting a ton of Mike Evans, so it's just a natural stack for me. And then I also love the backdoor options as well. I love getting Keyshawn Vaughn in this range now, and I love getting OJ Howard, although that's not going to be in play with my tight end drafting here. This is why I didn't. You said I have to take Vaughn first. People like the draft room still does not like Vaughn. Like Vaughn is one of those guys that will slip around past ADP, even if he's pushed up in the draft applet. And one of the reasons I think when you click his thing, this is the blurb that people see. Keyshawn Vaughn may start season as kick returner. This is from 7 days ago, but I guarantee you this stuff influences people's decisions. They see that stuff and they get spooked about Keyshawn Vaughn. But this is a slide we've seen in years past. We've seen it over and over with rookie running backs. And I'm not saying that Keyshawn Vaughn is this level talent, but we saw it last year with Miles Sanders. People were worried, what was it, about Jordan Howard? So then that pushed him down. Alvin Kamara, like no one thought he would have this role with Mark Ingram there. He slid into that 10th to 13th round range. Nick Chubb, everyone was like, no, he's buried behind Carlos Hyde. And there was even one other guy. So these guys are just available. And now it looks like we're going to get Keyshawn Vaughn unless AKF 22 messes around, which he didn't. All right, we're getting our stacks here. So we got the double stack with the Cardinals. We got Tom Brady, Keyshawn Vaughn, and Evans. I like how this is shaking out so far. Someone needed to remind me to go grid mode. I always forget. Let's see here. How much attention do you pay to bye weeks and the underdog tourneys, tiebreaker, total avoids? I basically only pay attention to it if it's at a onesie position that I might only have 2 guys. And I think I have one draft where I ended up having, I think I did it on stream where I have all the tight ends from the same bye week. But otherwise, it's not a huge concern for me. Let's see that. Yeah, I kind of like this take. I think OJ Howard's a really nice pick late. Oh, we're on the clock. What do we got here? I wanted to see, I like Nikhil. Did Preston Williams go? Chenault already goes. Okay. Yeah. So Nikhil, I forgot to mention as one of the other last wide receivers they're going to take. There's definitely running backs I like, but looking at the board, I think we can wait and get them. So we'll grab Nikhil. Here's another guy that drops. It's so funny how the news changes it, right? Like there were the reports, he's having such a bad camp and blah, blah. He missed a practice. He didn't come back for a drill. And then that's the news blurb that is in the Underdog profile. Meanwhile, now we have news reports that Cam and Nikhil have this great rapport, yada, yada. So it's like buy the dip on these players where the news is impacting their ADP. And normally I'm not even drafting a wide receiver here. But because I went second tight end early and because I had missed out on some of those others, I just feel like I need to backfill a little more. I'm up to 6 wide receivers. So I might grab one more as a stack filler later, but otherwise it's time to start hammering some more running backs here. What do we got here? Chris Carson blurb was away from the team for like a week too long. Would you have considered the Wentz-Ertz stack over Brady there? That's a good call. I don't mind that. It's harder to get other Philadelphia players. I guess I could have gotten Arcega-Whiteside. You know what? I should have considered that. Philadelphia plays Arizona week 15. So that could have been a nice little dual game stack there. So yeah, I probably should have considered that. I missed that. Where is stacking more important? Well, I would say definitely number one is DFS. If you're playing a large field tournament, I mean, the Millie Maker's like 150,000 entries. Definitely that, followed by season-long best ball if you're playing one of these prize pools that have, the majority of the money up top. I would say that. And then, I mean, redraft, if you're playing like the FFPC with the Football Guys Championship where there's 500,000 to first and, whatever, 50,000 to second, I definitely think you should have some stacking. But I'll talk about this in a second of why I think people are kind of overstacking in here. The idea of stacking itself is fine. I think it's where we're going like onslaughts with teams. I don't think that's optimal with how the playoffs are constructed here. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Let's see here. I think I'm going to go Bryce Love. So the order I take these guys isn't necessarily exactly how I prefer them. It's just playing the draft applet game and knowing like, okay, I prefer Joshua Kelly to Bryce Love, but I think I can get Joshua Kelly later. Whereas if I go him now, I know I'm not going to get both of him. So we were talking earlier about Antonio Gibson's ADP. I mean, yeah, I'll take Bryce Love. What was it? 7 rounds later? Yeah, we'll do that. With all the wide receiver injuries for the 49ers, I'm surprised I haven't seen many Jordan Reed flyers. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I have been grabbing some more Kendrick Bourne. I think he's going to have an immediate role. I guess Kittle has the hamstring issue right now. I think it's my age bias just showing through again. And I think there's just more exciting second tight ends that you can draft. Like I don't want to draft a pure handcuff tight end, which I think Reed is going to be. Whereas you can get Gerald Everett in the second to last round. I mean, I think Gerald Everett is going to have an established role. I like OJ Howard. I think he's going to have an established role. So I don't mind it, but I just don't think you necessarily have to do it. All right. Did I talk about Josh Kelly and then did he go? God damn it. Is that what happened? Oh, he went 1 pick before me. I missed that. I completely missed that. Okay. So I'm on the clock now. I believe, I think this is where I pull the trigger on Darrell Williams. I'm so torn about this one in that I still think DeAndre Washington's the better player. I think he's probably like the better all-around skill set if Clyde Edwards-Helaire is out to kind of be able to catch passes and get goal line work. But I can't ignore the reports that Darrell Williams is operating as the number 2 right now. And the number 2 in the Chiefs backfield, when there's already some negative reports about Clyde Edwards-Helaire, as far as what was it? Someone can correct me. He's missing blocking assignments or something. It's just an immensely valuable offense. And I want pieces of it when I don't have some of those other guys. And Darrell Williams is just a really cheap way to access some exposure to that offense here. I don't hate this take. I probably wouldn't say it in a vacuum, but cost adjusted, yeah, I like Everett. Let's see. In redraft, I'd only stack on a very good offense. Yeah, I mean, if you're just talking about like a 12-team league, just with no other bigger playoff tournament thing, I think it's completely fine if you want to do Dak with Amari or whatever. That definitely opens you up to a little more variance. I don't think it's necessary. You don't have to go out of your way to do it, but I don't think it's harmful. Stacking, I think our minds gravitate to stacking because it eliminates the decisions we have to make, right? Like when you open up your DFS app or I'm trying to decide which players to take, I don't have opinions on every single player. Like stacking narrows that decision tree for us. And that's why I think it's attractive. But I think it can be used as a crutch a little bit as well. So I'm a fan of stacking. I think the onslaughts are not optimal with how the Underdog tourney is formatted, where you're trying to win a 24-person league in week 14 and week 15. And I think it's a 28-person in week 16. So would you ever go full on onslaught to win a 28-person DFS league? I don't think you would. I think that's too much. I think just some correlated stacking and game stacks would be enough. So that's kind of how I'm viewing it. Sorry, let me show you my wide receivers here. I actually need to pick here and then I will get back. So we're going to get Tua late. We're done with tight end. We might look for a backdoor stack. I'm going to grab Benny Snell here. Benny Snell. Sean Siegel's been giving me the hard sell on Benny Snell. I believe. I think Connor is one of the most fragile propositions there is. I see the upside case, but I'm getting excited about Benny Snell. My wide receivers are Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, Darius Slayton, and N'Keal Henry. So we have 2 more picks. One's going to be on a QB, and then I'll have to decide if I want to do like a backfill stacking. Like we could get like a Scotty Miller or somebody with Tom Brady, or if we just want to load up on another running back. We might just go fragile with wide receivers here with these 6 guys. Let's see. Did you enjoy drafting earlier this year? I did. Yeah. In the main event, Pat and I drafted the first week of July, and it was very enjoyable. It was, we do have Rager on that team, but the cost wasn't awful. And there's a lot of values we got that are just not possible now. So that does feel good. I'm going to grab Tua here to make sure I don't get, well, let me see here. Yeah, Tua's my guy. Tua's my guy, especially when I did use the capital a little bit earlier on Kyler and Tom. Those are 2 very good quarterback options. And so Tua is just, he's a luxury upside playoff stash pick. Similar to Lamar Jackson's rookie year. I mean, he came in, I want to say he started the fantasy playoffs. He never accessed his ceiling those weeks because they weren't letting him air it out and he was just rushing. But even then he was getting you 20 points per game. So there's an upside case for Tua, I think, in those playoffs in a nice schedule here. Isabella, after I just talked all about not onslaughting, I don't even know if he's still here. Oh no, he is. That can be an option. I wish there was like a really cheap, exciting Dolphins guy after Parker, Preston Williams, and Gesicki, just to get a little more stacking there. Yeah, that's the decision I'm looking at here is Scotty Miller or Andy Isabella. Does the chat? All right, let me see. Type Andy if you want me to draft Andy. Scotty if you want me to draft Scotty. I'll let the chat decide. Is this Malcolm Perry? Yeah, I've started to see a little bit about that. All right, let's see what the vote is. We got Andy. Oh, someone putting a vote for Jakeem. Scotty doesn't know. Andy, Scotty. God, this is kind of split. Laird missed practice the other day. He's wearing the red jersey. You guys are kind of split here. No, I'm not out on Darrington Evans. I like Darrington Evans. So let's do Scotty, since I don't want to do a triple stack of wide receivers. That seems a little excessive. I'd rather get a second one with Brady. Let's do Scotty. That's a good price on Isabella, though. Don't mind that. Yeah, I don't need a third tight end after taking Andrews and Ertz. So let's look at this team. This one was interesting because I got thrown for a loop. The big decision point was we missed out. I misplayed that wide receiver run in the 4th and 5th. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss out on one of Mark Andrews and Zach Ertz. I haven't seen a board like that go, where Sutton, Parker, Gallup all go before Zach Ertz. So at that point, I wasn't going to chase it. So I just grabbed it, and that kind of influenced my draft. So if we think of Ertz as a tight end or as a wide receiver, essentially, I don't feel as naked here. This is a very true 0 RB build. Moss, Lindsey, Vaughn, Love, Darrell, Benny Snell. But I like the varying of profiles here. I think, Moss and Lindsey, I think, are going to be startable right out of the gate. Keyshawn Vaughn will probably have to wait a little bit. Bryce Love, I think, could be the 2-down guy there very soon. Darrell, Benny Snell. So Benny Snell, more of a true handcuff. So yeah, I mean, these are one of those teams. They don't look great to the average eye. I have 0 RB beer goggles on. You know, when I look at these teams, I'm like, oh, this team is great. The average person looks at it, it's like, what the hell is going on with your running backs? So yeah, but again, it's a fragile approach. Just trying to hit, you know, on 2 or 3 of these running backs and then let the rest do work. So yeah, I'm going to get guests for streams this week. I'll be back tomorrow, but I just wanted to fire off one of these. And what, you guys want one more? I don't think I can't be streaming that long. I don't have the energy. But yeah, we'll see you guys back tomorrow. Smash the subscribe button. Send me hearts on Periscope. All right, we'll talk to you guys later.